Hello, everybody. My name is Akita Akari Aurora, and I am so happy to bring to you this week's GeneKey. It is GeneKey number 44, the gift of teamwork, the shadow of interference, and the CD of Synarchy. Its programming partner is number 24, and its gift is the gift of invention. Richard Rudd says, the gift of teamwork is therefore about recognizing who belongs in your life. Let's get into the wisdom story. My mother abandoned us when I was little. Though my father wanted to do right by his 5 children, he couldn't. He often got overwhelmed and disappeared for days, blowing his money on gambling and leaving me, the oldest, in charge of my younger siblings. I had no choice but to grow up fast and accept more responsibility than a boy should have to do. As a young man, I wrote off all women, entered the workforce, and naturally gravitated towards positions of leadership. People tended to trust me, and I preferred to be at the helm, even if it was the helm of a sinking ship. Time after time, no matter how good a job or organization looked on the outside, I managed to misjudge it. My higher-ups either disappeared or dropped the ball. My staff rarely knew what to do, and I'd be left picking up the slack. Then I'd go through it all again somewhere else. I saw the same mess everywhere. In politics, in religion, in the economy, in love. Leaders were abandoning the people, and people were abandoning themselves and each other. And no one seemed to care. I distrusted everyone. Until one day, a woman walked into my life that did care. Though she came from an indigenous background, completely different from my own, there was something strangely familiar about her. I liked her smell and was immediately drawn into her world. She had an uncanny ability to trust, not just the trees, rivers, and birds, but people. Me. She helped me see the perfect irony of my life and how my childhood story was repeatedly interfering with my life, but in different disguises. As soon as I saw the pattern, it began to change. My distrustful heart opened, and for the first time in my life, I let a woman into my heart. As I surrendered to our intimacy, I developed quiet and rose for people. I developed quite a nose. I developed quite a nose for people. More and more kindred spirits entered my life. Soon I was invited to work and live inside a community that was capable of synchronistic and seamless forms of collaboration. I had never known this kind of joy or teamwork. All participants contributed what they loved most. Everyone shared the burden of responsibility, and much more often than not, things went smoothly. Now I know the true experience of belonging. Beautiful. My gift to you. I come to remind you that you always attract the relationships that teach you exactly what you need to know in order to grow. The more you trust that people are in your life for a reason, the more you'll be able to learn that relational lessons you need to learn, and the better your judgment will be when it is time to choose new partners, friends, and collaborators. I want you to trust your instincts. Start smelling the people in your life. If they don't wear sparse smitten, don't trust them. Ask yourself, who are my true allies? You have the potential to experience more trust, harmony, and teamwork in groups than you can possibly imagine. When you found your true team, your destiny will naturally and magically unfold. Questions for contemplation. Do you have difficulty trusting people? Do you keep them at arm's length? Do you keep running into the same unhealthy relationship dynamics? Are your instincts often off? What old relationships are interfering most with your new ones? Think of a time when you experienced or witnessed teamwork. Draw a map of your current relationships. Indicate who are your true allies. Who do you trust? Who don't you trust? Be honest. Take a look at the people you've struggled with most in your life. If they were here to teach you something, what would it be? Very good contemplation. All right, let's see what unicorns and dragons have come out to help support this beautiful message of teamwork, the shadow of interference, and the seedy of Synarchy. Richard Rudd says the gift of teamwork is therefore about recognizing who belongs in your life. So while we're going through this Scorpio season, observe and decide, command and commit who deserves a space on your team. All right, the dragons are coming out. Okay, so the black dragon from Saturn. Listen, this message this week is so powerful, so powerful, and it hits on so many integrated points. I guess it's just the energy of the key, right? Teamwork, number 44. All right, so let's get to know this black dragon from Saturn. What is this energy about? What is this symbology about? The black dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Its energy is to concentrate and to focus on your ultimate vision. It's also bringing you congratulations, saying, congratulate yourself. You have passed a test. All right, so let's get into it. It's wisdom through spiritual discipline. And the first thing that came to mind was, again, we're in this Scorpio energy, and the creative calendar says command and commit, right? So this energy of spiritual discipline, or just discipline within itself, right? It's fifth dimensional energy, and it also represents the master of Kuishi. Now, I did not know what Kuishi was, so I had to look that up. And Kuishi is the ascended aspect of Saturn. All right. So my brain started saying, all right, well, Saturn is the ruler of which zodiac sign? And then Capricorn, right? So this is real Capricorn energy. And what do I know from astrology? That Capricorn, some of my astrological notes on the Capricorn energy is that the Capricorn energy must be in balance with its ancestors, right? That it must climb up the mountain, and that Capricorn energy has this story of rejection and humbleness. It's described as the daughter of character and integrity. And these are notes I took from Sister Myra. If anybody is familiar with Sister Myra, who's a great oracle reader, astrologist, spiritual woman, just everything. She knows her things, and she's written a book on the zodiac and astrology, and she kind of has her own system. So these are some of my notes that I took from one of her lectures slash interviews. Right? She reminded us that Saturn holds that Cinderella story, right? And when I thought about it, I said, you know what? Saturn is the planet of that energy of restriction and time. And when I thought about the Cinderella story, I said, Cinderella's story had a lot of restrictions in it, as well as she had to be home by midnight, right? Or the glass slipper was going to fall off or break or something like that, right? And all of the rules and the limitations that she was experiencing. Remember, she wasn't even able to go to the ball, and then her fairy godmother showed up and said, oh no, you got to go looking like this, you can't go looking as my grandmother would say, dragging the flag. We got to send you out looking right. So this Saturn energy, this black dragon from Saturn, right? We're really talking about, again, standing up into more spiritual discipline, right? Enacting more discipline and being in balance with our ancestors, climbing up the mountain, having restrictions, but getting over them, right? Going beyond the restrictions and really still, or even within the restrictions, still achieving the goal that we want to achieve. And how do we do that? By concentrating and focusing on the ultimate vision, right? And again, teamwork. It's the gene key of teamwork and invention. So isn't that just a perfect match, right? 24 and 44. Gene key 24, the gift of invention. And gene key 44, the gift of teamwork. So here comes the black dragon from Saturn, reminding us to concentrate and to focus on the ultimate vision. And again, congratulating ourselves that, hey, we have passed the test. So it also tells us in the collective energy that where we are as humanity, and if we look at our individual lives as well as our collective experiences, like even this morning, something happened to me, and I literally, the way I did not respond, I said to myself, oh, you passed that test. And it just so happens that this card, I guess this is why the card came out too. It is this moment of noticing and observing the tests that you are passing, whether that's on a physical, spiritual, emotional, or physical, spiritual, mental, or emotional level. You know, the universe always gives us tests to pass, batons to pass to ourselves to get to the next level, right? So this again, this black dragon from Saturn is helping us to get organized and to apply ourselves to our task, right? So we're getting ready, right? We're getting ready. We're getting things in order, right? Divine timing and divine order. Order and organization, and applying ourselves and focusing on the ultimate vision is very important when it comes to teamwork as well as inventing, right? And there's always some energy of creation and innovation when it comes to teamwork, because we have to think out the box and we have to bring something in that is new as well as be cohesive within the actual team, right? So the black dragon from Saturn, it also symbolizes the feminine energy of rest peace, and calm, which enables wisdom to come forward. I just love that sentence. The black indicates a feminine energy of rest, peace, and calm, which enables wisdom to come forward. And again, this also reminded me of that Earth Star chakra, right? That the depth and the warmth and how we can release our energy to that Earth Star chakra, right? Because it's a place of rest and peace and calm, right? And it helps us to draw in that wisdom that allows us to come forward, to allows the wisdom to come forward and for us to move forward. All right, so we're tapping into that black energy, right? That black dragon from Saturn. And another thing, it's actually, sorry, I said the Saturn and the Cinderella story, but it's actually the Capricorn energy that holds that Cinderella story. But Capricorn is led by the planet of Saturn, so that's why that whole Saturn, Capricorn, and Cinderella story comes into play. And again, when we're talking about the Cinderella story, one of the things Sister Myra enlightened us with is that that word Cinderella actually means cinder, carbon, Ella, feminine, Ella, divine, and La, feminine. So the carbon, divine, feminine. And also, what do we symbolize that carbon with, right? The carbon is the black that is transformed into the diamond, right? So also that transformational energy. One of the things that this black dragon from Saturn indicates too is that it works with Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Gabriel radiates pure white light. And I thought that was beautiful, especially under the energy of teamwork, because here you have the black energy mixing with the white energy, and that's teamwork, right? It also mentions that the black dragons carry the violet flame of transmutation. So again, that carbon energy, that Cinderella, the black or the carbon divine feminine holds and carries the violet flame of transmutation in order to transform into that diamond, right? So again, more teamwork. So this is a beautiful card to support GeneKey 44, the gift of teamwork. And remember what Richard Wood says. He puts it in this container of deciding who belongs in your life. So coming up with, hey, who is a part of my team? You know, and also again, that whole knowing that we are a part of a bigger team as well in terms of our ancestral energy, because this black dragon definitely wants us to have a connection with our ancestors, and knowing that we are part of a larger team, because our ancestors are a part of our team, right? So let's see what else is this beautiful black dragon. And again, you can feel this command and commit energy that we are working with under the Scorpio energy, right? It's all about organizing and applying ourselves, commanding and committing to what we need to commit ourselves to. That Saturn energy again of time and restrictions, but knowing, hey, when we go through this organization, when we go through these restrictions, it can also help us to bring forth the bigger picture. And we always have to work with a team, whether that's an internal team or an external team. There's always some teamwork involved in that, and the creation of the team to bring forth what you're trying to achieve. The card also talks about that that the violet flame again is used to dissolve our thoughts that are not focused on the ultimate vision. So again, that restriction, there's so many things to think about, but again, this black dragon, this energy comes in to fine tune and to transmute and to give order and application to the ultimate vision and the higher goals, right? The card reminds us that it's time to address tasks with discipline and focus. It reminds us to be determined, right? To be aware and to have the ability to not just to plan, but to stick to a routine whenever or wherever that is necessary. So again, that command and commit energy that is required when it comes to teamwork and invention, right? The gift of teamwork is therefore about recognizing who belongs in your life, right? So on a wider scale too, we're in this energy seeing so much change happening, so much destruction. And within that, we can use this energy to focus on how we want to rebuild and build up. Because as above, so below. So if on this realm we're seeing a lot of destruction, it's the perfect time to start rebuilding in your mental and physical capacities to create what you want to see as we allow what we no longer want to experience to really dissolve and be transmuted. All right. This card also indicates that our feet are firmly planted on the ascension path and that we are doing everything for the highest good of all. So that's also a beautiful indication. And again, it wants to congratulate us for passing a long undergoing test. Celebrate the success, and it's time to move forward with joy and bliss. So if you weren't feeling it, this is the confirmation that you are firmly planted and anchored onto your ascension path, and that we are passing the test. And even though, like I said, even though it looks kind of the fog of war, the illusions of war, it's out there. But you can know that on the collective level, because I can definitely feel it, that on the opposite of that, there's another energy that is there as well. And I think that's the majority of humanity, and that warms my heart and allows me to celebrate on the work that I know that I've been doing, as well as that others have been doing in this effort to raise the frequency and raise the vibration, not just within ourselves, but to help others do that as well. All right, so this beautiful black dragon from Saturn is a perfect a perfect partner for the GeneKey 44 of teamwork and GeneKey 24 of invention, to ride, for all of us to ride together as we experience this beautiful week of connecting with our ancestors, right? And this beautiful Capricorn Saturn energy reminding us, black dragon energy reminding us to connect with our ancestors, to keep on climbing up the mountain, to be the daughter of integrity and character, and that we have passed some tests and that we can move forward and focus on the ultimate goal with bliss and joy. All right. Let's see what the unicorn has. Well, there's always magic in the numbers, and unicorn number 28 showed up. It's the pool of Christ's light. Its message is to open your heart and spread unconditional love. Now, 2 plus 8 is what? 10, that's 1. And teamwork is number 44. So the first thing I saw was that 144, just like that, right? And isn't that interesting? Pool of Christ light accompanying the 44 of teamwork. I mean, hello. All right, if I planned it myself, it couldn't have been any better. So It's about transcendent love and diamond white frequency that passes through the rays, the gold white rays, and then the gold rays to us, right? So this is a higher light that we're connecting to, a pure white light that allows us to open up our heart and to spread unconditional love. And again, this is in the essence of GeneKey 44, the gift of teamwork, the shadow of interference, and the CD of synergy, everything coming together, right? In a harmonious way. So Christolite, let's get into it. It describes this pool of Christ light, and you can also call it Christ consciousness or Christ light, whichever one you're most comfortable with. It dissolves the blockages in our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual fields, replacing it with love. Again, the essence of teamwork, right? When we need to come together and form a team or be a team player, we must be able to dissolve our own blockages, right? Our own mental and emotional hiccups and triggers in order to replace those issues with love. And that makes a more powerful team. So whenever we're trying to form relationships with others, it's so important that we hold ourselves accountable for the inner work that we need to do in the relationship or to make the relationship more cohesive and a better team, right? It brings us peace, joy, and raises our vibration to the ninth dimensional levels. It's also a powerful protection energy. And now they start talking about Lukame, which is the ascended aspect of Sirius, right? So we brought two ascended aspects in. So we have the ascended aspect of Sirius as well as the ascended aspect of Saturn. And I think that Sirius, well, I know that Sirius is the star behind the sun behind the sun, but Sirius comes into play, I know, during Cancer season. And Cancer and is the other half of Capricorn. So that is interesting that both of these energies came up, the ascended aspect of Saturn, as well as I think the ascended aspect of Cancer, or the energy that comes in during the Cancer season, because Sirius is a big part of that July 4th energy and that cancer season, right? So it talks about Lukame, and it says that the heart glows, it radiates love, our eyes are of love, our heart is of love, and we speak of love. So as we transmute and transcend, right, and we are able to dissolve our blockages like the black dragon using that violet flame and dissolve these blockages, we are able to step into more radiant love. We glow with love. Our skin glows with love. We radiate love. We radiate love and pass it on to others through our visions, through our hearts, and through our communications and our expressions. So you become a being, there's always this, I want to experience love, and you want to be loved, but we have to also agree to be love, not just to be loved, right? So the guidance here is to breathe in the Christ light or consciousness and practice speaking and seeing and hearing and communicating with more love, and to radiate the energy to others, to other people, to other places, as well as to other situations. So I thought this was just a beautiful reading. Like the 144 came out with the pool of Christ light, number 28, the 44, and the 24. Beautiful team of of teamwork and a partnership of teamwork and invention. And then the black Saturn, the black dragon from Saturn, is just beautiful. And again, it's not a coincidence that both the unicorn and the dragon card were actually showing the ascended aspects of that Cancer Capricorn energy, right? So that's very interesting. And when I think of Cancer energy, I think of, again, a lot of the ancestral energy, because it's the woman, the wisdom, the waters, the emotions. And when I think of the Capricorn energy, I think of the determination and being very structured and being very organized. So again, um, us advancing and rising up to those levels, right? Um, ascending. So what also came in was this Pluto in Capricorn energy, because of the Saturn card, I was guided to look up where Saturn is right now. And I'm going to attach, I think I said this earlier, I'm doing this recording over 2 days. So I'm going to attach the link. Forgive me if I said this already. I'm going to attach the link to this article that I came across because I was guided to look to see how Saturn is affecting us right now during this key. And I came across an article that described Pluto in Capricorn, and the title of it said True Power and False Power. And at 10/10/10, which was just last month, at 10/10 on the 10/10 portal, actually, I remember doing a wheel on that day, and it was about honesty and integrity, one of the main things. So that's interesting that it's coming in more again. And on 10/10 at 9:09 Eastern, Pluto stations direct. Pluto in Capricorn, right? And it's going to be there, I think, until January, where we officially go into the age of Aquarius, right? This whole GeneKey is about karmic relationships, right? The archetype is called the grid worker, and it talks about allies, fractals again, and Synarchy. And it says the mission of the grid worker is to create a grid of beings who work together and weed out the corruption all around the world. The awakening of her core human fractal is activated. As it's activated, it removes the virus that is wound around its genetic lineage. The grid worker has a instinctive memory where past experiences are held within the cellular memory of the body. She uses this to sense what is going on at any moment. She is designed to operate out of instinctive alertness based on successes and failures in the past, with intuitive awareness of whether the past is worth repeating or not. The grid worker knows when history is about to repeat itself. Not only does she know where humanity is going, if we keep repeating the same patterns and expect things to change for the better, she also senses where we are off course and how we can center back into balance and synarchy through true teamwork. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful message? So this is where we are. This is collectively where humanity is, right? This sensing out the past and using that wisdom and that sensitivity, that empathic nature to guide us forward with the lessons of our past, and deciding how to create more synergy and true teamwork, right? By using unconditional love, opening our hearts, organizing, and standing up for ourselves with love and integrity, determination, and awareness. Hey, it's a new day, right? And it's really a challenge for all of us to do individually within our lives as well as collectively. So this is a very powerful week. Don't waste it. Alchemize, connect, and get organized. Get organized and celebrate, because we've passed a lot of tests, and know that we can move forward in joy and bliss. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.